Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm Dave Igo, Creative Director at Tweeterhead, and I'll be your host for tonight's live stream. Before I bring on your presenter, I want to share a little bit about Gnomon and some of the ways you can connect with the school. Gnomon is a 3D art college focused on visual effects, animation, and game art education. They offer full-time degree programs as well as over 90 individual courses, both on campus in North Hollywood and online. If you're curious about Gnomon, there will be an open house on Saturday, August 8th. It's a great opportunity to tour the campus, meet alumni, staff, and instructors, and get portfolio feedback. Go to gnomon.edu to RSVP or send us a message on social to get a direct RSVP link. Gnomon provides several ways to connect and learn about how they train artists for careers in games, animation, and visual effects, including these events. As always, we want to thank our event sponsors, Dell, NVIDIA, and ArtStation, for their continued support of our community and these industry events. Without them, we wouldn't be able to bring you these amazing artist talks. Quick housekeeping note, if you need closed captioning, please visit the Gnomon YouTube or Facebook channels. Now, for tonight's event, we're excited to have Gustavo Medeiros join us. He is a senior artist on the Diablo IV team at Blizzard. He'll be sharing his career path from traditional sculpture to working on AAA games, including Apex Legends, Back 4 Blood, and Diablo. He's also going to highlight a really cool personal project he's been working on. Once he wraps up his presentation, we'll start our audience Q&A, so feel free to drop your questions in the chat throughout the event, and we'll tally those up for the end. All right, let's bring in Gustavo and get this party started.
That's me. How you doing?
Good, man. How you
Good
doing?
evening, folks. Yeah. First of all, I would like to thank Normal for the opportunity. It's so amazing to be here. It's a dream coming true. Would like to thanks all the Normal team, Alex, Lily, you, and yeah, it's amazing to be here. Yeah.
It's fun having you, man. And you said this is your first time doing one for us, like here,
Yeah.
not just Gnomon, but like
Doing one in English actually. Yeah, this is so crazy for me. So yeah.
that's awesome, man.
Let's keep going. So, yeah, my name is Gustavo. I'm 31 years old. I'm from Brazil, senior character artist. And today I will talk a little bit about my career path and how I got here at Blizzard. And on the end, I'll us through a little bit about a personal project that I've been doing for a while. And yeah, let's do it. So, uh, this is my slides that I created for today. Yeah.
So you're also a graphic designer. Look at that.
I'm not actually. I'm not. Yeah. So uh, I am exactly this little kid with around 25 years of difference. I was very obsessed with games and watch cartoons, and I really like to draw and stuff. And to be honest, I'm still in this kid in some way, you know. And the most impactful thing for me was some games like I cannot say how much this games impacted me as a kid and as a teenager, and I love that so much. Like they are a part of my soul, definitely. Good of War. And here there is some drawings. I was drawing a lot, animes and stuff.
Heck yeah.
um, I used to have a lot of problems during the school period because of it. Yeah, uh, and I was very influenced by my cousin. He was a big inspiration to me back then. And I just want to steal all his drawing skills, and it was so crazy.
That's cool that
Yeah,
you had a family member though that was inspiring to you. That's not too common. So that's awesome.
yeah. So he was my main inspiration back then about drawing and stuff. So I finished school, you know, and I didn't know what to do. Like I was a little bit lost, and I started to study photography by my own. Like I was borrowing a camera from friends and stuff. And this helped me a lot during the journey. To be honest, like I was studying a lot of composition, color, and stuff. And but I really love to draw, and I really love games, and I started to do some drawing courses back in Brazil. And I back then I had a very regular job, not art related, and I was spending all my money with art courses. So there is some art exploration right here, like some gestures, some portraits, anatomy. And then I started to study by my own digital painting. And I was just watching some classes on YouTube, and then there is some more art exploration here. I didn't know what I really want to do back then. I just knew that all right, I love art. I needed to do something with art. So here there is some cars, bikes, trains, and portraits again. Some crazy robots, more crazy robots, and I space pirate. Yeah, this is a crazy one. One of the last that I did back then. Yeah.
You should do a revisit that crazy pirate now, 20
I
years
should. I definitely need to do it. 3D and stuff, a game character, it would be crazy. Come on, yeah. So the turning point to me was I was doing this art courses back in Brazil, and my drawing mentor said to me that I would be nice if I did like a sculpture workshop, and I decided to do it, and I did with Glauco Longi back then. It was an entire day sculpting, and it was so awesome. And I got hooked like 100% by it. And this was my first hat in clay. And it's so crazy to look back at it. And yeah, so when this workshop ended, a lot of clay left. And so Glauco told us that we could take all this clay uh, for home. And so I did. Like I took home like 80 pounds of clay.
oh my god.
Yeah, dude, this is crazy. This
They
is
got
so
buff at the
crazy.
same time. You're a buff sculptor
So
now.
I had to take a train and a bus, and it was like 1 hour trip. That's a Yeah, this is so crazy. And I was practicing every day, like after work. I was getting home and I was practicing for maybe 2 or 3 hours. Um, I was getting everything dirty around, like because water clay let everything dirty, and but in some point I switch it to oil based clay, and these are some hats that I did in the same year. To be honest, like back then I was blind, I couldn't see any progress at all, but today I can see that I was progressing some point here, like so these two alien hats I did on the end of that year. Maybe it was 2014, I guess.
So how old were you then, Gus?
I am 31 now, so 2014, and yeah, today is 2016, so
It's like
20 2026. Yeah, sorry. So this was very important to me. I was practicing every day, and it was good. So I discovered what I would love to do. And back then on the workshop, I heard so many names, and I wrote all them down. And I was like, so I got home and I started to research these names. And there was like Fausto De Martini, Rafael Grassetti, this kind of dudes. And and something clicked in my head, like this is it. I would love to do that for life. Um, and so this was the thing, like something clicked in my head. All right, this is my goal now. I would love to work with 3D. Um,
Have you
so
at that point in time have you heard of anything digital, or were you just so focused on traditional that was just like where you were absorbed?
I was focused on traditional because I didn't have like a good PC back then. But then, in some point, I could save some money and I bought a good PC. And then I was more focused on the digital side of it. Um, yeah, so I found out this dream, and all right, I would love to work with a AAA industry with games. I loved games since I was a kid. I still love games. Um, so this was my main goal. I discovered my goal here after this workshop, and yeah, Glauco was involved to that, and it's so crazy to think about it. He's my friend today. Yeah,
Dude, Glauco's awesome. I didn't
he
know
is
that until
awesome.
this
Yeah,
presentation that you took a class with him because I've known him for over 10 years now, and he's such a cool dude and the best smile in the world. And that's cool that
Oh
you.
yeah, oh yeah. Rocco is a cool guy, definitely. So, um, and I knew that to have this goal, to accomplish this goal, I would have to deep dive in 3D world, you know. So with all the sculptures and drawings, I got a full scholarship back in Brazil. So I was studying for 1 year. Uh, I left my job. I saved some money. It was not easy, like this entire year just studying, uh, but definitely worth it, you know. So in this school, Danilo Taiji was there. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's an awesome artist, so talented and patient. So my
Who is that?
first
Who is that,
contact,
Gus? Did you say?
Danilo Taiji. Do you know
Okay.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
So
I don't know him personally, but yeah.
he's awesome. So my first contact with ZBrush, he was there to help me, and this was so amazing. And then there is this first models that I did back in 2015, maybe some art exploration. So I was doing some cartoons back then. I didn't know what I would love to do for real. And there is something as well, like uh, in Brazil, there is a huge thing there, which is the advertising industry. So it's so huge, and I was trying to do something more cartoonish to get some freelance work and stuff. um, yeah, so more art exploration, some environment work as well, some crazy ship. I was exploring. I was like all in, you know, and this was important to know what I was aiming for. Yeah, so this was important for me. Oh, there's this Gamorrean king from Star Wars as well, like my version of it. So yeah, let's keep going.
It's cool too, real quick, that you have like a variety. It's not just creatures. You're like, I want to get in environments. I want to do vehicles.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
So uh, to start my career, I had to develop a study routine. Uh, yeah, this kind of thing. The beginning of our studies, like going to bed very late, waking up very early in the morning to work, and this kind of thing. And um, yeah, so I got my first gigs in Brazil, and it was a mix of things like advertising, TV commercials, short movies, and I did some environment work as well, scenario for animation. And to be honest, back then I was not refusing any work at all. You know, I needed to work, so I did a bunch of different things in the 3D field. Yeah.
That's cool. For half a second, I thought you said shark movies. I was like, that's very
Oh, not
specific.
short
Shark
movies. Yeah,
movies.
sorry.
No, it's
Would
good.
be awesome as well. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I had a lot of small gigs. I did a lot of freelance work in Brazil, but there is one that changed a lot of things for me. It was a small studio in Brazil. So with this studio, I was working with them for almost 2 years, and I was the principal artist there. So I established the benchmark of the studio and the art workflow and this kind of thing. Um, yeah, and it was amazing. So I learned a lot with some artists there, and this is some of the artwork that I did with them.
That's fun.
And I designed some of them as well, like this one as well. So it was amazing to work there. And like this kind of art style was not my goal, but I was doing that just to keep my personal project going. You know,
Yeah.
this was very important to me.
Hey, Gus, when you said you designed them as well, were you designing drawing or were you designing right and digital sculpture?
Oh, it was a mix of things actually. So, oh, sorry. Like this one right here, it was a mix of things. I was doing some blockouts and doing some paint overs and stuff. For sure, there was a art director there, and so the final approval was about his decision. You know,
Yeah, cool.
but I was designing things, and I had an amazing experience there, and I learned so much. It was nice. Yeah. this pigeon is awesome. I love that till nowadays. Yeah, this is so good.
It looks like you have a Chewbacca's bandolier on him with eggs. I love it.
This was the inspiration for sure. Yeah, this was the inspiration, 100%. Yeah, I did some environment as well, and yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was an amazing period for me. Yeah,
That's cool.
definitely. So February of 2023. Sorry, I missed something here. All right. So I spent these 2 years working for this company, and then with a personal working that I was doing back then, I joined Volta Studios. uh, this was a big turning point of my career because I could work in very huge projects, like Apex, and Back for Blood, and Guild Wars. And there's a crazy thing about it because I was working with them, and my lead worked on Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and this game was on one of my main inspiration back then.
That's
So I
awesome.
was so happy about it. Yeah.
And Gus, Volta's in Canada too. So this is your first time working outside of Brazil, or
It was my first, but I was working remotely.
yeah,
I did some freelance work before Volta, but full time position. It was my first time. It was so amazing, amazing team. I had an awesome experience there. Yeah.
awesome.
So February of 2023, I started to interview with a big company. In April, I signed all the papers, and I was moving to California to work at Blizzard to be part of Diablo team. And this is my first picture, like my first day at Blizzard. Like,
Yeah,
and it was till nowadays. Like sometimes I pinch myself, like, am I really working here? This is so crazy. Yeah. So it felt so magical to tour the Blizzard headquarters. Huge dream come true to me, and yeah, it's still awesome. I really love to work there, and yeah.
can you talk a little bit about the process too of going from applying it to interviews, or did you have to do like a trial period or anything like that?
Not really. Like I remember to start to talk with them. I had a lot of interviews for sure because I was living in Brazil still. In the process, I think it's a little bit different. I cannot talk a lot about the details of it,
Yeah,
but um, I didn't had to do art test, and there was a process. Like the visa process is massive, so I signed a contract with them in April. So in September, I was here to work for them.
awesome.
And like it's not that much of time, but this period was just paperwork, bureaucracy, and a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one question in the chat I think is relevant to this moment. Someone was asking, is there a portfolio piece that you can show that you feel was the key piece during your interview process at Blizzard? Like something
Oh,
to say
I
something.
will show all my portfolio
Cool.
pieces a little
Awesome.
bit late. That's fine. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I will show them all. That's good. But this is a good question. Yes.
Nice.
So this is some of the artwork that I did with them. The Mortal Champion was one of the main creatures of the Lord of Hatred. I had a lot of fun doing it. Um, the high poly of the creature, yeah, a lot of iterations. It was so awesome. And then I had the opportunity to work on T-Rail. It was amazing. It was a challenge for sure, but it's so crazy to think about it because Tyrael is a character like his first appearance was 26 years ago on Diablo 2, and now I'm part of it in some way. So I'm so happy about it. I was working direct with directors and stuff. Uh, it is a dream come true, definitely.
That's all.
And one cool thing about it is when Lord of Hatred launched, I was seeing all the players' reactions with Turael hit return, because uh, it was so cool to see the reactions. Like there was even some fans crying,
Yeah. Yeah, it was
and to
amazing.
be honest, I was crying with them. Like, dude, this is so awesome. Yeah, this experience is so awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Like you said, it's another pinch you moment. Not only working at Blizzard, but being able to work on that character for that moment in that game is kind of
Yeah, I'm so fortunate. I'm so lucky for sure. Like, yeah, I will be working for Blizzard for 3 years, September of this year. So, it's so crazy to have part of this big collaboration. So amazing. Very happy about it. Very happy with the fans reactions with his returnal, and yeah, amazing. More shots, the hood.
nice. How long were you working there at that point to when you got the note from your boss like you're going to be working on Tyrael? You're just like,
Oh
oh,
wow.
was that like
I
6 months into the job or a year? Or
No, I was working for, I don't know, 2 years, maybe
yeah,
two, maybe 1.8 months or something. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. But it
that's
was a process as well. Unfortunately, I cannot talk that
yeah,
much about it, but
yeah,
uh, it was crazy too. Oh my God, I would do Tyrell. Yeah,
that's cool.
some in-game shots. Yeah, and then I will show a little bit about my personal work timeline and how much each of them was important in my journey. So there will be a lot of different kinds of personal works here, and I will explain a bit why I did them back then. So I started. This was my first full character for games.
That's cool.
Um, so we can see here a lot of inspiration about Diablo, about World of Warcraft, um, and still I was exploring a lot. And this character was so optimized, like 14K trees is so optimized nowadays, very optimized. And I did the full rigging for this character, just to understand more about the character pipeline, about how to do it for real, and it was massive. It was like something that I would not do it today, like from scratch. This is so crazy, but it
That's how
was
you learn
important.
stuff sometimes, man. Like you just like it helps you push yourself, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. So I spent maybe 4 or 6 months doing it. It was a lot of knowledge. And then we have this one right here is almost a toy. I was playing with the shapes. I was playing with the forms and design, silhouette. It was very important to me as well. Uh, this one was very good as well. Like we can see a lot of Zelda inspiration, and a good thing to talk about it is like this first artwork right here. It's unlit. There is no specular, melatonin, or something like that. It's just color.
Yeah.
And the same thing here, like just color. So I was painting the shadows, and I was trying to figure out the art style of it, like the sword and the shadows and the colors and stuff. And I did a rigging for this character as well, but this time I used a plugin just to make my life a little bit easier. And this is the high poly of it. And this is the idle animation that I did with the rigging setup. Very simple, by the way, but it worked, so that's fine. Yeah.
And how when you were doing this stuff, Gus, was this like but this is before Blizzard too? Was this stuff you're working on to try and get into Blizzard or
I was exploring, like, I was trying to learn anatomy. I was exploring things with the knowledge that I had back then. So I would love to do something stylized like Zelda. And this was an exploration for me.
gotcha?
uh, and these three first personal works, they were important, so I started to get some small freelance work and stuff, to get some money. This
Yeah.
was very important. um, and then we have some anatomy exploration, anatomy studies. I was 100% into it, like facial structure, bones and stuff. So this I spent some months doing that because for me back then it was so complex to achieve this result right here. I rendered that on Arnold, and it was amazing. Yeah, more anatomy. I did this one based into a 3D scan, I guess. So I took some shots of this 3D scan. I tried to make the 3D scan more exaggerated, in trying to understand the anatomy. And it was amazing to explore that, like rendering Arnold as well. There is this point light right here. We can see a fog going on. Yeah, it was important. And then with all this knowledge that I acquired over the years, I decided to do something big to put everything together, Uh, and then I did Francis. I spent maybe 6 months doing it. Um, it was amazing because my life changed after this personal work. I received a lot of jobs interviews and stuff, and uh, I got the role on Volta Studios because of this character right here. And later, this character definitely helped me to get this role at Blizzard. So this character changed everything to me, definitely. More shots. We can see the wireframe. I did the beard and the eyebrows and hair with planes, the clay render, and then I started to explore uh, a more artistic side of my personal project and stuff. Like, so I decided to do some portraits, trying to capture the emotion of these people. These are real people. I just grabbed some photos online, and I was trying to do the same facial expression and try to understand the feeling. Some creature exploration as well. I really love that. This is from Stephen Oakley. Stephen is an amazing artist, so we have plans to print that out, maybe to sell on Monster Palooza. I don't know. This is a future plan. Let's see. But there is some scales, there is some teeth. I really love that. I really love the design, the silhouette. So this was very important. More more creatures. This is from Anthony Jones, awesome artist as well. Really good. And then we have Daudi. I don't know how to pronounce his name, to be honest, because it's a kind of Icelandic language. I don't know. So we have some shots here rendering Arnold as well. I still working on him, but this was the character that made me be hired by Blizzard, definitely. So we can see a lot of letter, a lot of details, a lot of assets, the knife, um, belt, bracelet. I was giving a lot of attention, head to toe, So it was awesome to do that. Yeah. So there is some close-ups, face, belt. Yeah. As I said, I'm still working on him. Like I had to do a lot of things. I moved to United States. I had to do a lot of with professional work and stuff. So, but we are good. I think that this year we're gonna finish it. Yeah. So this is the actual progress of the character. Unreal 5. I'm doing now the beard, the hair, and we are in a good position. Yeah. And so Igor, awesome tech artist, is helping me with that. We can see the muscles, the forming, and the back muscles as well, arms and stuff. We need to tweak a little bit some parts like the armpits and stuff, but we are getting there. Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much, Igor, for the help, and we're gonna wrap this up this year for sure. Yeah. So now we're gonna talk about what brought me here for real. Like dissecting the journey. So first, I think my strong passion for games helped me a lot. I was very obsessed by that. I still am obsessed, to be honest. Games are a huge part of my life. I always have big inspiration playing games, and I in my head I have a lot of titles, so I really love to play games. And with passion, there is persistence as well. So and clear goal. So I knew the place that I would love to be, like Blizzard or some other AAA studios here at California. So uh, yeah, the thing that I would like to show here is I had a lot of persistence to be here today. I applied a lot of times for different studios, and the thing is, we need to trust the process. We need to trust ourselves. We need to keep doing what we are doing, and sometimes we just need to sit down and do what needs to be done. So this is a thing that I keep for me. Like I have pages and pages on my mail of studios denying me just to remember my journey and to remember where I am today. Let's keep going. So I will talk a little bit about my study routine now. This was very, very important. One of the most important things for me. Um, Oops. All right. So back then, uh, I was setting up a schedule. Like today, I will study. I don't know anatomy and game characters. I don't know, but I was using a stopwatch or a time tracker just to track everything that I was doing, and this is very important. I think it's even more important nowadays because, like, am I studying for you or I'm just scrolling? So this is hard. Is even harder nowadays. Um, so this is a thing that I was doing a lot. I don't do that anymore nowadays, since I am very deep diving to like the my current role at Blizzard and my personal stuff. I do not track my hours anymore. But back then, this was a life changing to me, definitely. And it's good to say like life balance is very, very important. So uh, try to stick with your routine, try to stick with your studies, and respect yourself. Uh, and life balance is the best thing. Yeah,
Dude,
100%.
life balance is really hard because I know a lot of us, as we start, especially in the industry, we're like workaholics, just like,
Yeah, yeah, I am a workaholic, 100%. So I will talk a little bit more later because uh, I had all these schedules of studies and stuff, and I did a bunch of things, and I was trying to do like 1,000 hours per year of studies. This is crazy. This is so crazy, but in some way, this helped me a bit. So this is some studies that I was developing back then. This is all traditional, and I never stopped to study. I was doing some ateliers back in Brazil with Giovanni Caramello, Henrique Rainha, amazing artists. Um, so there is more art exploration here. The Monster of Frankenstein, David Eyes, and Human Anatomy, more traditional stuff. This was a workshop that I did with Immortal Masks. I don't know if you are familiar
oh
with it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, amazing guys, awesome. Yeah, they are so good. So Patrick was helping me with this. Awesome. It was so amazing, amazing
So is
experience.
that life size, Gus?
It's not. It's not. It's like I don't know the size of it, but it's smaller than life size. Yeah.
Mm.
maybe a quarter. I don't know. More art exploration, anatomy, more anatomy, some dog skull, face, feet. There is
Is there
something. Go
is
ahead.
there
Sorry.
oh no, I'm sorry. Is there a part of the anatomy that you were like, I mean, like really into that you weren't expected to be as into? Because like one of my favorite things as like was, it might sound weird, but like feet were always really fun because it was something I thought I would hate early on. Then when I started drawing and sculpting them, it was like it was a fun thing that I don't know. You know what I mean? Was there anything like that for you?
Oh, actually, its feet is very complex. So I need. I back then I was trying a lot. I did a lot of versions of it. So I end up with this version right here.
Nice.
Uh, but yeah, it's very tricky to be honest. Yeah, some drawings. So here we have something very old, like this two here, and this one right here, this insect, and this ones right here is a little bit like 2025. It's a little bit new. Um, so I really love to explore drawing. I think they helped me. It's not something mandatory, but uh, traditional sculpture is not mandatory as well. But I think they make me a better artist. Definitely, yeah.
Do you still draw?
I do. I do.
Nice.
I need to get back to it, but I think this one was maybe March or something. I don't remember. This mustache man right here. And I really love to do it. It's like relaxing, you know. I really like it. And then there's hobbies. I will talk a little bit about that because this was very, very important to me. Um, so I'm saying that because in 2019 I had a crazy burnout, and what brought me back to the game was cooking. I found a new love. Like, am I a cook right now? You know, like I didn't know. Like I was just exploring again. You know, but I just couldn't deal with art anymore in some way. So I spent half of 2029 2019, I spent half of this year just cooking. I was doing a lot of things. I was learning new dishes. I was learning how to do sourdough bread, and this brought me back in some way. You know, I need this rest for my head. This is why I say that life balance is the best thing.
That's good timing too, because it's right before COVID lockdown, so you're able to cook food at home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a real thing. Yeah. So and I have different hobbies. I really like to listen to the music. I really like to go to some thrifty stores to find like rare vinyls and stuff. And there is this new thing like here in California. Oops, there is this scenario where there is a lot of antiques shops and stuff. This is not common at all in Brazil.
Oh, really?
So yeah, they are not common in Brazil. Like for sure, you can find some here and there, but um, here is a movement. Everyone is there trying to find something, you know. So I really love to go to these fairs, and I really like to take pictures of like these old letters to use as reference. I really like to do that because we can see. All right, I'm here talking about work again. Sorry, but
No,
uh,
it's
but we can see the storytelling, like uh, where where is more oily. There was more contact with the skin. There is more crack. There was more movement and this kind of stuff. So I really love to take these pictures and try to implement that to my work. I really love to do that. Uh, so this is why I think hobbies they are very important because you can rest your head a bit. You can because I think your head cannot be just art and games. You need to have more stuff to occupy your head, uh, and you can rest better, I guess. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
And then there is this thing right here: compare yourself. A lot of people say to not do it, but I don't agree with it. From my perspective, we need to compare ourselves, but in the right way. It's not like the artwork of this artist is so dope and my art is crap. It's not in this way. Definitely, it's not. It's more about comparing your work with their work in terms of what you need to do to reach that level of art quality, uh, or career path, like what this person did to get this specific role in this company, or how this person got promoted here. So I still do that, to be honest. And in 2023, I started to compare myself with some people who was working for big studios already, and in some way I end up convincing myself that was time to, all right, I'm ready to get hired by a big company. And then beginning of, actually end of 2022, I did a planner, and the name of the planner was this one: Road to Khalifa. Khalifa is the uh, name that we say in Brazil, like meaning California. Um, so I did that in the late 2022, like 2023 will be the year for me. I was so sure about it, and so I applied for the role at Blizzard late January, and end of April I signed all the contracts with them, and today I'm here. Oops. All right. And today I'm here. So it's so crazy to think about it, for sure, but this was an entire process. So I did that on the end of 2022. I didn't know that I would apply for a role to work at Blizzard at all, but I was sure that something would happen in my head. And this was very important, like believing more in myself. I'm capable. I can do it. I was doing a lot of rounds of interviews, and I was progressing with that. Uh, and yeah, it was amazing. And so I'm here today.
I think
And
I think
go
something
ahead.
important you hit on too is the comparing yourself. I think there's, like you said, it's about how you do it. There's a
Yeah,
healthy way to compare yourself to where you want to go. Like when I was going to art school, I was very critical of my own art, and I was looking to work in professionals because to me, that was my competition. Like if I want to get a job, I had to compete with that level of quality with professionals, not other students. And so I think you looking that way too, it's a very healthy way to set a high bar for yourself in terms of like what you want to achieve, where you want to go. And also, if you want to go to Blizzard, you want a portfolio that aims at Blizzard. You don't want to show like
sure.
this other stuff and it's like, where does this go? So I think comparing yourself and looking at where you want to go is extremely important. So it's cool that you had that moment while you're building your plan. The road to Khalifa 20.
Khalifa, yeah, yeah. This was a fun way to say it. There's a thing as well, like back in Brazil, it's so important to have your peers, like friends that are trying to get in the industry. So we had a group. We were there studying together, inspiring each other, and helping each other, giving feedback. So this was definitely a big thing for me and for us. Every how can I say it, like all these guys nowadays, all these folks, they are in a very good position nowadays. I'm very proud of it. And this was a big thing. 100% study together, do your community, do your friends, your network. This is very, very valuable. So yeah, and this wraps up this part of the presentation of the journey. And now I will talk a little bit about this personal work that I've been doing for a while now.
Awesome.
It will be pretty quick. Just walking through the process, like some designing this decisions and stuff, uh, about reference, blockout, design tests, and a little bit of anatomy, and props. All
Nice.
right. So I picked this concept right here. These two, they are from William Bang, awesome artist. Um, so a big shout out for him. I was using this reference as well, just to try to capture the vibe of the character. I really love fantasy. I really love trolls and fantasy world, elves, all this lore of Lord of the Rings and stuff. I really love that. So I was trying to do something about it, and I really love God of War as well. So I was trying to do something about it. So I started to explore my options here. We can see this first versions of it. It's like an animal, like irrational. And here, this last version, it's a creature that if you find this creature in the forest, you can try to talk with him, because it's more human, it's more rational, I guess. So uh, this is a good thing to keep in mind, like the facial structure, the facial bones and stuff. There's a lot of influence in the design decisions.
I'll try to talk to any animal I come across in the woods,
Oh
though. See a
yeah.
deer, hey deer. See a bear, what's up, bear?
A good thing to talk about is, when I am doing a personal character, personal work, I try to write down story for the character, like what is this character, what this character is doing. Is this character smart, intelligent? Uh, he can he can seal like his own clothes, or hunt, this kind of thing. I really like to write that down, just to be sure what I'm doing and what I am aiming for. So I was doing a lot of exploration right here, and I knew in my head the look of the character, because I knew the story of the character. So here we can see this spike shaped horn, reminds me a little bit elfic, and this reminds me a little bit of a deer, so a mythical forest creature. That was not my intention, so I decided to go with the short horn. I think this is strong, powerful, and this is the look that I was searching for. Yeah, but it's so nice to put everything together and see what you don't want. So all this exploration was very important for this character. Uh, and same thing here. So I did the blockout. I was doing some paint overs, trying to decide the design of it, like the balance of the character, the elements. Um, and I think this was my favorite one. There is some balance here on the assets. It's cleaner here on the shoulders and stuff. And I end up removing these bandages here, I guess, just to have more balance and stuff. Um, but I think this is why drawing skills, they are a little bit important, because you can block out something in ZBrush, and then you can do some paint overs, trying to decide your design in a quick way. And I really like to do that. So this thing that I said before about the storytelling and the background of the character, it's important during this stage, like what this character is doing, why this character needs some knives and pouches and uh, things like that. So this is irrelevant right now, but this character is just a guy from the woods. He lost his dad, and he's trying to find his dad. So he's walking alone through the woods, trying to find his dad. Yeah. Um, Sounds silly for sure, but this is important for the process. Um, so I really like to do that, like, and write that down, like what is each part of the character. I think it's important.
That's awesome. Usually you hear when people make creatures like this, it's kind of like, was it hunt? Was it kill? And you're like, my guy's looking for his dad.
Awesome. Yeah. So a little bit about the anatomy of the character. I was trying to run away with this stereotype of bodybuilder body type. Uh, I didn't want a lean creature, like ripped creature. I think I was trying to do something strong, like a strong man, but with some body fat as well. I
Yeah.
think this makes the creature more natural and more realistic in some way, and not and trying to not be in the comic side of it, like I don't know, Street Fighters, that type of character so ripped, you know.
Yeah.
So I was trying to avoid that, and I think uh, it was the best decision. I really like this body type for strong creatures and stuff. I really like that.
Big swollen.
Yeah.
Swole.
And here there is some progress with the anatomy of the character. We can see strong legs, a strong torso. I think this is one of the most recent version of it. So
Someone
maybe this. Go ahead.
someone was asking in the chat, do you model all your accessories in
I do.
ZBrush, or do you do anything like in Maya and import it in or anything like that?
It's a mix of things actually. So I will show you guys a video on the end about some props like this belt right here, how I dealt with that. But it's a mix of things, you know. There is things that I will just sculpt in ZBrush, like this skirt right here. But like this buckle, I try to do that on Maya. I think that I have more control there. It's not a rule, like if it's working for you, you're good to go. It's just the way that I do things. So it's a mix of a lot of things. Um, but Maya is a powerful software, Maya Blender or something. They are very good, yeah. So a little bit of the arm of the character, and we can see like it's a strong character, um, and it's not so ripped. Like you see, there is muscles, but there is fat. I think this is the key of the character. So I have here some references for the props, like the bracelet, the skirt, this alligator skin, leather, fabric. This is me with my dog.
Aw, yeah.
Because sometimes it's hard to find some reference, so I'm wearing a belt with some t-shirts roll that up, you know. So I was taking pictures of myself because it was so hard to to find the right reference. And here, this is the blockout version, that one that I was painting over. And here's the first pass that I did. So we can see I was trying to do some layers of leather. And this is straps right here.
There's
And
a
this, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gut. Yeah, there's a good question about kind of this moment, I guess. Is there a question from the chat? Is there a general rule of thumb for whether low poly cloaks, hoods, and waistcloths like a comma or loincloth should be modeled with actual thickness, or just keep as single-sided planes for AAA game ready characters?
So for capes, cloaks, this kind of thing, I usually do with thickness, but there is a technique for that. So I usually do the thing first with Dynamesh in a very poor way, and then I will do a zero measure, and I will do a panel loops for the thickness, but I will keep the polygroups because during the low poly and the topology stuff, you can just delete the back face of it, and you can keep just the front of it. So this will make your life 100% easier, because when you're doing the topology on Maya, uh, for some reason the polygons will clip through the faces, and then if you have just one face, you're good to go. So uh, and if for sure this depends of the project, but there's projects that they use just one side mesh for cloaks and stuff. Each studios has their own documentation, their own technical things. But if we're talking about like so next gen character, there will be full documentation for that. And if you need to do a thickness, like a thickness cloak in the low poly, so I would do the same thing. I would just extrude a bit and fix the UVs after that. So
That's
this is a
cool.
good way.
So for you, generally, you start with like Dynamesh, Zeri Mesher. You have your thickness, you keep your polygroups. Then you always have that, and for you, it's easier to start that way and
Yeah,
move to be a single face versus start single face and add thickness later, kind of a thing.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So I
cool.
start with Dynamesh, block of Dynamesh, and then I start to sculpt in a good way, and I will mask that up. I will extract that face, zero mesh, and then I will add some thickness, and
That's
then I will.
awesome.
Yeah.
I learned something today.
So we have here some progress of the bracelet. We can see like the big shapes right here, uh, and I try to keep very simple. There's something that I love about when I am trying to do something realistic. I think that I can draw here. All right, this is so fancy. So sometimes uh, I see some bracelets, and there will be this, and there is just straps rounded in this way, and I don't think this is. Oh, Jesus! All right, good. I don't think this is a good way to present it. I think that this way that I did here, I think that there is some story going on. You can see this leather strap pinching right here, uh, and there is some movement and makes sense. Like everything connected is connected, and this is good. I really love that.
One rule I have with consumer products too is we work with sculptors that will do wraps around like a weapon or something like that.
Yeah.
And I always look when I get the file from them if I can trace with my finger like the wrap going around the whole weapon, or if it's a series of loops that don't make any sense. And I'm always like, nope, it's gotta make sense. It's gotta feel like a rope,
Yeah,
not just a series of loops, you
I
know?
really love to see that. Like, I really love when things make sense. Like, this letter is rolled down into the arms and stuff. I really love to see that in the character. And this is some brushes that I did just to make my life easier a bit. Some knots. This is knots. I don't remember the word for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
nuts. Yeah.
Some sews and stuff, stitches. I really love that. And I use that a lot in this character.
Bunch
And
of
we
cheating
can
is all
see.
I see. Jeez, cheater.
And we can see here how I apply that, and then I was sculpting some form variation to let the letter more interesting. There is a pressure here, and it's good to show that there is some pressure. I really like that.
When you have something, Gus, on like the knots, if you have a character, like do you try to make every knot unique, or do you kind of start with one as a base, duplicate it out like you're doing there, and then go and change each one after the fact, or do you try and make like a series of insert meshes that are all different from the start?
Actually, I have this one right here, and if you take a look, it's like the same.
Yeah,
So I will try to distribute all the knots around the character, and then I will do some variation. But a good thing to mention about it is this brush here has the low poly already, so you can avoid a lot of work doing that. So here there is this high poly thing, and there is the low poly together with this high poly. So
Cool.
you can tweak the high poly and then tweak the low poly, and you're good to go. Otherwise, you would like retopo everything by hand, and you would spend maybe days doing that. And
Yeah.
this is a smart way to do it. Yeah. And here is the way that I did. There's a skirt right here, like masking, applying, extracting. So for the capes, cloaks, and stuff, I would do almost the same thing here. So here I extract, I zero measure, extrude, and if we see there is a polygroup here. So during the retopo phase, I can just hide it, delete it, these faces, these back faces, and I would have just the first plane of it. This would make my life very easy. Yeah, there is this how I apply the shoes and stuff. And here how I approached the this fabric. So here there is a cylinder. I will cut the capes of it. The capes, not the capes, right? I don't remember the name
Oh,
of
the
it.
cuts.
I would, yeah. I
Oh, the
cut
caps.
the caps.
Caps. There we
All
go.
right. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna figure it out, man.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, English is not my mother tongue, but we're gonna figure it out. We always do. So I cut that up, and so if you see, there is I just sculpt that. There is a interface which I can delete for Retopo, as I was saying. So it's a easy approach to do that. You don't need to get crazy with that. Go simple, and this works. Yeah.
Do you ever use Marvelous Designer?
I
Something like
do.
that?
I
Yeah.
do. For this character, I didn't use it, but if you are doing some production pieces and stuff, it's good to use Marvelous. It's helps a lot. For sure, you're gonna use Marvelous for a base, and then you need to sculpt over it. But Marvelous is pretty powerful. I really like that. You can bring things forward a lot using Marvelous. Yeah. But for this character, since I didn't have a lot of fabric and stuff, I did all by hand.
I love the by hand look on a lot of stuff. I know Marvelous is great for like absolute realism, but something there's always like an extra character to it when someone sculpts it by hand that I like because it's like the fantasy of it instead of just like here's 100% photorealistic cape, which is great, but like it's fun seeing how you sculpted all these from primitives, from extractions and stuff like that. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I really like as well. I think it's a very powerful skill, and it's a hard one as well. So you have to practice a lot to sculpt good fabric. Uh, but it's awesome. I really like to sculpt that by hand. For sure, in the production, day by day, I will use Marvelous in some cases, but personal, I try to stick with just by hand. But this will depend of the complexity of the project,
Yeah.
100%. So this is a croc ladder that I was doing. I use some brushes to do it. I was distributing by hand, like all the scales of it, and trying to match with that reference that I showed a little bit earlier. Uh, and there is a lot of sculpt by hand. If you see it, like some shapes and this division that Croc skin has, it's really interesting. So I was masking that up, trying to follow the references and stuff.
I love that you had like however you started those individual scales when you went in and you reworked it all by hand because I think that does give it that again like unique character like you made it versus like yeah just an
Y-
alpha or something.
Yeah, yeah. And as I was saying, go simple, and that's fine. You can sculpt like each one by hand if you want. but this seems like a pain for me. You don't need to do it. Like you can download some brushes, or you can do your own, and then you can do some variation right here, some scratches and stuff, uh, and this works. That's fine, you know. And here's the same thing, like these pouches that I did for this character. I started very simple, very simple. I used this stitches brushes that I did. Uh, yeah, actually, I don't have a lot of things to say about it. It's very simple.
How'd you start that base? Is that with like ZMod
ZBrush,
art?
ZBrush, 100%, just masking things and doing zero masher and extruding some parts of it. Uh, so in this case, I don't see a reason to go to Maya and block out that. I do everything on ZBrush, and it works pretty good to me. In here, I will show a belt on the end. It's a little demo just to talk a little bit about these details right here. But long story short, this is alpha map that I applied on the surface noise. And this is powerful as well. So we can apply the surface noise. We can open the UVs in automatically way, and then we can try to follow this flow of wrinkles uh, to have something very good and realistic. We can clean that up a little, some parts of it to not let it a little bit noisy, you know. So yeah, the knife progression, very simple block out. Here I use the same technique that I will show today for the belt, very simple as well. And here is the video. I will bring that up now. Can you see the video?
Yep.
All right, good.
Or I can, maybe just me. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, this is a 7 minutes video. I will talk a bit about the process. So here I sculpted that on ZBrush. I masked the character up, and then I extract the faces and I zero measure that. So I was clean that up just to let in this way, and then I extrude the mesh, and I open the UVs, and I open the UVs right here. Very simple way. I did the UVs in a very squared way just to fit the textures. You will see that in a couple seconds. All right. So I did the UVs in this way just to apply the textures in Photoshop. You could do this process in Substance Painter if you want. So here's the important part: a UV snapshot. So I usually do the UV snapshot in 8K just to have more resolution, because you're gonna use that on Photoshop to help you apply the textures in the right place. So here is the pattern that I use. Um, so this is the snapshot that I did, and this is the pattern. So uh, we will see that in ZBrush now. So I have here the belt, and then I masked. There's an option here. Let me pause that just to. So here, when you apply the texture map, there will be the mask by color, mask by intensity, and then we will have this result right here, and you can inflate in a negative way to have like this carved feeling. And now I'm just sculpting by hand all the details and stuff using different brushes. I use a lot of there is a brush called Slash, but there is a version of Slash that I will use in a couple seconds, which is very nice. All right, this one right here, Slash 2. This brush is very powerful. we can do the edges with this brush, and the result is very nice. Like it's like a letter. Like I really love this brush.
So what's the big difference for you with when you were using slash or like dam standard to slash two? Is there like a kind of like a rule of thumb for you between jumping between them?
So slash, it's a little bit different than standard. The alpha is different, and the effect is different as well. So if we see here, the slash two, in some way the brush separate the first layer, like the this front layer from the back face of the sculpt, so there is a edge here coming up like a letter, and I really like that. And then standards don't have this effect. But I use the standard as well a couple times just to give the pattern some variation a bit. Yeah, I was unwrapping the UVs in automatic way here in ZBrush just to use the surface noise. Yeah. So I really like to do that. It's a good technique, like helps your sculpt a lot, like bring forward a little bit the process. And now you can try to match the flow of the alpha and sculpting over it. And I really like this result. Yeah. And I use the same technique for all the letters of the character. Same approach with this alpha map, surface noise, trying to give the letter some imperfections, some cracks and stuff. For sure, there will be some things that I will do on Substance Painter, but I really love to see a lot of things in ZBrush already. I really like it. I like to bring some colors as well, just to try to visualize um, a little bit better, like the color and the letter material and stuff. I really like to do it. So here I am doing some cavity map just to mask some things out and bring some colors on the cavities. But it's like it's simple. It's nothing like complex and stuff. I use this technique for all my letters. For sure, like looking the reference, the right reference, trying to match that. It's a good way. So right now I'm cleaning a little bit all these cracks that I did. I thought that was too much. I really like to use the morph target as well. Can help you a lot.
So the whole time you're working on this, you're always looking at reference while you're sculpting, right?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah, 100%. This is a key thing for us, I guess. Like keep your reference, but keep it simple as well. Like sometimes I see people uh, like doing the mood board of the character with like 300 images, and I don't think this is needed. You just need some good ones, and you're good to go. Um, so for this letters, belts, and stuff, I maybe it was just a few, like 10 or 15 references, just to be sure what I was doing. So here I was doing some like sews and stitches and stuff. I did a brush for that. Insert mesh is the name of it. You can do with curves in Maya, or you can uh, do with nano mesh as well. I don't really like nano mesh that much, to be honest. For that, it's a little bit buggy and tricky, but
Which one were you saying, Gus? Do you not like?
nano mesh
Oh,
for
Neanderthal. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
for seals and this kind of thing. It's a little bit tricky.
It's cool watching this video with you and seeing how much you do by hand versus just kind of like do this. It's like you really go in there. Even if you are using some procedural stuff, you're still going in there and reworking everything.
Yeah, I really like the process because it's very artistic, and it's still I'm not doing like all the details by hand. I don't think this is needed, because imagine how much work you would have to do a character like this one that I showed earlier. It's a lot of work. So I don't think this, like using this alphas and stuff, will impact in the final result. Actually, will help you a lot. So I really love to use that, and I really love to work things by hand as well, like giving specific details, like giving the character uh, very specific characteristics. I really like that. And all right, I think that's it. Like, so this was the final thing. So it was a very quick demonstration, just to show a little bit about my approach about letter and stuff. So how I do the wrinkles, how I apply the surface noise. There's a bunch of websites out there with good alphas like CG textures. Nowadays it's called just textures, I guess, but they are so good, very amazing textures and stuff. um, so you can try a lot of them to see which one will fit better, and you can explore, and I really like that you can do your own pattern to apply on your mesh. And I think this is very nice, and I use this approach on every piece of my character, like this detailing. And for sure not every piece that has this kind of pattern, so this is specific. But the detailing thing, I think this is interesting. This is powerful. This is good for production, good for your personal things. And that's it. I think that let's get back to.
Hey,
And
Gus,
now, go
the
ahead.
the original pattern too, that was all applied with a UV map with a pattern you either had or you created info like right as a UV map. That's how you start with like the actual pattern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can return to that to show it a
Yeah,
little.
someone was asking. I think they might have missed that earlier. So just want to.
So I did the UVs here. I So this is the UV of the belt. I took the UV snapshot just to have the image of this UV set, just to have the control to take this to Photoshop and work there the pattern. So this is a pattern that I found online.
Okay, so you found it online. Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't do by hand. This is from a very amazing artist. I don't remember his name, unfortunately, but he does a lot of research about Norse culture for real, and I really like his work. He's a designer, and everything is free on his website. I really love that. Yeah,
Sharing is caring.
and here I applied the the texture into the mesh, and here I use this option of mask by color and mask by intensity,
Gotcha.
and then I inflate in a negative way. So this is how I did it.
Gotcha.
All right, all right. We can proceed with Q&A. So
Yeah. There's one question in the chat too asking about, I know it varies per project, but was there a time roughly that took you for that troll guy from beginning when you found the concept art, pulling together your reference to the final look? Was there like a off and on, like couple weeks, couple months? Like how long did that?
oh, I've been working on this character for so long because I moved to a new country. There was a lot of things to do about, but I started this character almost 3 years ago. But the process of block out to this, I can return here on the just to have a visualization um, to this point right here. Maybe it was like 8 or 9 months, something like that.
Not like 8 hours a day every day. That's like all.
No, not at all, not at all,
Yeah.
not at all. Like I was doing some freelance work as well. I was doing a lot of things. Um, but yeah, it takes time. Like sometimes you're gonna sculpt some anatomy, you you just don't like it, and you're gonna start from scratch for some reason, um, and we need to deal with that. You know,
So is this a character you started before you're at Blizzard? Or is this something you've been working on?
before Blizzard, this was one of the characters that made me got hired by Blizzard. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So it was one someone asked earlier too. Is it something where an artist at Blizzard saw your work on ArtStation, they approached you, or you built this and then you applied to
Oh,
them?
I applied for the role. I
Yeah.
applied for the role, definitely. I think nowadays it's pretty hard. Like a studio go to you and say, oh my God, I want to hire you." This is very rare nowadays, unfortunately. So you need to apply for the roles. Like, uh, forget about the ego thing. Like just apply for everything.
Yeah.
And this is a good way to deal with that. Yeah,
Did you see it on, was it LinkedIn, or how'd you hear about the job, or how'd you apply for it?
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, and then I applied for the job. I started all the process with them, and yeah.
Nice. Someone was asking, did you ever meet any of the people at Turtle Rock Studios while working on Back for Blood?
Actually, not. I was working for Back for Blood when I was in on Volta Studios. Volta is an outsourced studio, amazing one. I just met. How is the name? This is his name. Oh my God, I don't remember his name. Chris Hill. Chris Hill, maybe. He was a lead back then. He was my lead when I was working for Volta, and he was working for Turtle Rock. So he was giving me feedback, and I met him here at Normal. Actually, it was at
Oh,
Normal.
awesome.
Yeah,
Cool. Look at that. Noman bringing
Normal.
people in
Yeah,
crazy.
the institution.
So with someone was asking earlier, and I'm not sure where it was in the presentation, but I think it's kind of a good general one. But when you're doing your own personal work, how much is it like? Do you want to? Do you see someone else's art, like the troll, where you saw another concept art? You're like, oh, that's cool, and I'll work on that. Versus like you have an idea and you build something from scratch on your own. Like, what do you have like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or is it just like as inspiration hits you, you just kind of like dive in?
It's a mix of things actually. So when I started to do the troll, I knew in my head that I would love to do a troll inspired by the God of War universe. So I had that in my head already. I was gathering all the reference that I loved. We can see here a bunch of things about God of War, but we can see some artwork that I love, like Jill Nakpil. I love his work. He's amazing. We can see some Diablo
Gio's
stuff
pretty
here.
awesome.
He's amazing. Come
Yeah,
on.
Gio's worked freelance for me. Like we've worked together on projects, and he's just like he's that guy. It's like it's awesome
He's
working with him.
so amazing. And be at Blizzard, we have some opportunities. Like Jill was there giving us a workshop for 2 days. So it's possible to have this contact with artists like that. I learned a lot from him. he's awesome. Yeah, I really love his artwork.
How much too when you're looking like do you go to conventions and stuff too to because when you're at Blizzard you get to meet a lot of people like you said Geo comes in but do you ever go to like I know you mentioned when you and I were talking last week about like BlizzCon do you ever is that a good opportunity for you too to also like meet other artists and other people?
Actually, all the time I'm trying to be in art events because this is so powerful. I really love that. Back in Brazil, we didn't have that much of events like art events. We usually do, but nowadays it's pretty rare, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh, but like I'm here, there is a lot of events going on and I need to be there. I really
yeah.
love to be in contact with art community and stuff. Monster Palooza. Since I got here, when I got here, it was my dream to be at Monster Palooza. Like,
Oh dude,
and
were you at the most recent one? Were you there?
yeah, May,
Yeah.
I was there.
Did you have a table or were you walking
No,
around?
I was just walking around.
Dude, I was there. We might have met each other and not
Dude,
even
come on,
realized.
yeah, yeah. But I have plans to have a table there, and this is awesome. Not just to get money, but it's awesome for the community to know more people, to make contacts. And last time I was there, I think last year actually, and I saw Rick Baker walking
Yeah.
around, and I was like, dude. What is happening here? I was in Brazil 2 years ago, and now
Yeah.
I'm here. So this is crazy, and I really love that. I really love to experience that. There was this event that happened in Normal, like the ZBrush for iPad launching party or something.
I was there too. We
I
probably
was there too, man. Come on, I don't believe it. Oh my god. So I met a lot of amazing people there, and I really love this kind of event, Lightbox Expo as well.
yeah.
And I need to go to the designer con. I really need to go next year. So it's powerful. You can meet people around all the studios here, like Rockstar, Santa Monica, Naughty Dog, Blizzard.
Yeah.
You can see them there. You can talk with them. They are like normal people. So it's amazing.
So for someone like you that lived in Brazil, didn't have access to a lot of these conventions when you were there, and now that you're here and you understand like not saying you didn't understand it before, but now you were like, oh man, this connection is like so important. Do you have advice for anyone who's not here, who is in another country where it's harder to go to conventions? Like, do you encourage people to post on forum boards and connect on social media? Like, how would you give advice to the younger version of you who's still in Brazil now?
I see. Like advice about networking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have, from my perspective, this is a amazing thing. Unfortunately, I was in Brazil and we don't have that much of events. We have just a few. We have amazing Brazilian artists that is still in Brazil. You can go and do amazing connections. Uh, but I think my main thing about networking, they were my peers, like these friends that I did during my journey, and we were there studying together, and now they are my network. For sure, I when I got here, I met a lot of amazing people, and my network like increased, improved, a lot.
Yeah.
uh, but just because I'm here. But back in Brazil, I was there and I had my friends. We were supporting each other, and nowadays they have amazing positions in the industry. They help each other a lot, and this is my network nowadays. For sure. Like as I said, I got here. I met Glauco. We are friends nowadays. I have more friends in the industry now, but just because I am here. And sometimes, if you are in a different country, you need to do what you have around. So get in contact on Discord with art community, try to be online, because there is a fun fact about this group that I was part of back in Brazil. Like we were all from Brazil, but from different parts of Brazil. So Brazil is
Brazil's big.
it's
Like it's
huge.
a big
Brazil is
dude,
massive,
like it's
man.
a great yeah.
So I was from the southeast. There was a lot of folks from the south of Brazil. There was some folks on even on Amazon, like and some on Canada, and so we were there studying together every day, like talking with each other online, giving some feedbacks, how to deal with work, how to do things, and this was very valuable for me, 100%. And they are my friend, they still my friends, and in amazing positions. So I kind of have a lot of contacts in the industry because of that.
Yeah.
But they were my peers back then. They were just studying with me, and this is the thing. Yeah.
That was huge for me too. You and I talked last week. I went to Vancouver Film School, and having that 1 year together with all these classmates in my same class above me, beneath me, when we all got jobs out there, that became a huge networking source for me too. And just seeing where everyone is now, it's crazy. Someone commented, Brazilians doing magic outside our country and helping build beautiful things along with other talented artists from around the world. Thank you all involved for bringing this meeting to us. That's cool. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lots of Brazilian flags in the chat. Lots of
Awesome.
Brazilian
Awesome. Awesome.
pride.
Love you guys.
You guys are pretty good about that. Yeah, it's crazy too. Like, I mean, one thing was when I first started in the industry, it was like 20. I've been working now for 20 years, and back then it wasn't as international as it is now. It was a bit, but man, that like social media boom just made everything like totally
Yeah,
different, and it's cool to
100%.
see how everything's so global now.
It is.
So what? So someone is asking, how long? Like what? And I like at what age when you were like when you were doing photography when you first started your art journey? Like how old was that? Was that college? Was that just right out of high school? Was it in high school? When was the photography stage right before you started like really your art journey?
So I finished school, and I was lost. I spent like a year just playing games. I was like, all right, I will play games. So and I had a lot of support of my parents, and they were like, if you're gonna do a university or something, you better know what you're gonna do. So I had a lot of support. And I was thinking with me what I would do. And I really love photography. And I was 17, I guess.
Oh, that's cool.
I was
Nice.
17. Yeah. I finished the school, so I started to study a little bit of photography. I was borrowing some camera from friends, and yeah, later my dad gave me a camera, but maybe this was like 1 year before this. And I really love to take pictures nowadays. It's just a hobby, but it's something that make me a better artist. Just how to compose images on 3D and color and stuff, composition, and I really like that.
So you're 17 when you started with photography, and how old were you when you started ZBrush and 3D modeling? Was that a couple years later, or was
It
that?
was because we have a gap here. I was trying to make all the slides a little bit shorter because otherwise it would be like massive.
Yeah.
So photography, I was around 17, and then I decided to um, try to do some university like game dev university, but it was so expensive back in Brazil. It was impossible for me, and I decided to start design classes, very poor classes to be honest. And I spent a year doing that. Here and there, I was working in a regular job, not art related. I was working in a badge factory back then.
A what factory?
Badge like cards, like
Oh, badge fat making badges.
badges. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I had this job back then, and I was paying for my courses. My dad was helping me a bit, and I was spending some time doing this design courses, which was not good. Then I decided to move to this. All right, let's do something real now. I used to drawing for real, and this is when I started to study drawing. and I was maybe 19, I guess, 19, around 19, 20, something like that. Yeah.
Awesome. So it was like 19 you started drawing, and then was it that same year? Was it a year later when you jumped into ZBrush, or how long?
No, not at all. Like because I started to this drawing courses in 20 2014, I guess. Yeah. And then I was doing a bunch of art courses. I was spending all my money with that. Like I didn't have money at all. I was just spending with courses. So I was doing two courses all at once. Um, and when I joined this scholarship, I was 20, I guess, 21. I don't remember that, but it was around that. Yeah.
Awesome. So someone asked, if you're back in your 20s now, just finished college, you want to be a character artist like you are now, how would like what pathway would you take? Would you just like you're just grinding and working hard on your portfolio kind of a thing? Or is there like, oh, if you don't understand the resource, you don't have access to school, do you think like there's enough on YouTube and everything now to kind of like help you learn certain things? Or
Yeah, today I think there is a lot of content on YouTube that can help you. But if I could be on my 20s again and studying everything from scratch, it's a little bit hard to think because all my journey was very important to me. But for sure, there is some parts of it that I regret, um, like everyone else. But even these parts, they were important for my progress, you know.
yeah,
um, but nowadays a good way to start, like, oh, all right, I want to be a 3D character artist. I would start with anatomy, uh, doing some anatomy classes and stuff. 3D, you can mix your medias, like drawing and sculpture traditionally, if you want. If you don't want, that's fine, it's not mandatory. uh, but I would start with anatomy, but I would not stick with this traditional crochet stuff. This is important, you know, but I got stuck into that for some years, and I could be doing some personal things instead, you know.
yeah,
Like, all right, I will take all this anatomy knowledge and I will do a personal character for me, and not just like a crochet or a hand or a foot, you know, this kind of stuff.
yeah,
This was important for sure, but I could do something more interesting uh, and more and having more fun, you know.
fun
So
is important.
fun is
You gotta
very
like what you,
important. Come on. So I would start with anatomy and I would stick with that. I would be in ZBrush every day, sketching things, having fun. Uh, but the real thing is art takes time.
yeah,
Takes time. There is
yeah,
no way. Like sometimes you're gonna explore different things, and this will help you in a lot of ways. But this is the real thing. Art takes time, and there is no
yeah,
way to run through that with no studies and try to run about the process and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another question, kind of relevant to. We were talking earlier about keeping a studio style in mind when creating your portfolio. Like if you want to work at Blizzard, making a piece aimed at Blizzard. But what if you don't have an idea in mind? Is it crucial to choose, or what would you give someone advice if they don't really know?
If you don't know, like, which studio do you want to join, it's fine. Just do your best. Try to, for sure, maybe you're gonna have in mind some style that you like. Maybe, I don't know, some creature or warrior or something like that. uh, Take some reference, like see some artwork on ArtStation and do your best, because if you are a good artist, uh, you're gonna have opportunities 100%, you know.
Yeah. I also in it being in a position where I hire and work with artists, the other thing I give advice to too is like you want to work with someone you enjoy. So having
Yeah.
a good portfolio is part of it, then be able to like, hey, connect with someone, like find some, like connect with people and be an enjoyable person. Cause it's like, that's an important thing too. Like, so when you get ready for, cause it is just as important to have a good portfolio, but once you start the interview process, you want to make sure you connect with them and
Yeah,
get,
100%.
yeah,
This is like soft skills, right?
yeah.
Because
Soft skills. What a term there, soft skills.
this is important, 100%. Sometimes the guy is awesome, artwork is awesome, but there is something missing. Sometimes is this communication skill, or know how to deal with feedback, know how to deal with people. This is very important. This is a skill, uh, uh, almost im- so much important than sculpture,
Yeah.
so you need to have that.
You hit on something really important is the ability to take feedback. It's like so crucial in a work environment because it is so collaborative. And you have to forget, like, remember too, that when you're at a studio and you're working on a thing, it's not yours, it's theirs. And so
It's
you're
theirs.
towards a goal for a company.
Yeah,
So if someone gives you feedback, it's not meant to hurt your feelings. If you take things personally or get butt hurt, then it's like
it's not.
not good. You have to, yeah, learn to take it and grow,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, this is very important. This is very important. You need to know how to do it, because otherwise you would have problems in the studio. And yeah.
Someone asked, do you have a personal favorite sculpture you've worked on? I can see all the humanity in your work. Very inspiring. So do you have like a personal favorite, like in general, or
Can you repeat the last sentence? Sorry.
oh, just the last sentence was they can just see the humanity in your work. It's very
Oh, I
inspiring.
see.
They're just
I see.
asking, like, do you have a favorite thing you've worked on?
Yeah, I really like the human figure. I really like human creatures as well, like this trout that I've been doing for a while. I really like the because I did some portraits, and I really love to explore that. I don't know if there is a photographer that he is always going to some United States events, like this OC fair stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Uh, and he takes pictures of people, different emotions, different kinds of people, different faces, and this is amazing. I really love to see his work, and this, because each person has his own character, their own character, and I really love to see that on people. And I really love to see a guy and imagine something like, oh, this guy is a, I don't know, a tailor, a sailor, I don't know, um, and give the this person some characteristics on your artwork. And I really love to do that. I really love to capture emotions, and I need to explore that more, actually, because I did this exploration here about I lost it. All right, it's here. So uh, I used his pictures to do these portraits,
That's awesome.
and this photography is awesome. I really love his stuff, and I really love to try to capture the emotions. If we are talking about just sculpture, about just clay and stuff, I think these portraits I really like them. I really like how this turns out, how this came out. I really like that. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
All
So you
right.
were so going back to like our conversation last week. There are a couple other questions. A lot of questions in chat were kind of like the same thing. Like if you were just starting your 20s, what would you do? So try to
Yeah.
handle that. If I miss, I think I got everything. We're trying to not focus on certain things too, but going back to like when you were talking about like when you were young, the things that inspired you to want to be an artist, like when you were drawing, was like video games. Saw your Zelda drawings. You seem to talk a lot about games. I also noticed a Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z Goku in there. So was it
Yeah.
like how much of it too was like a mix of like you're playing games, or are you watching anime or reading comic books? Was there like you're into all of it, or was there like video games is like your biggest inspiration?
Video games, they're my biggest inspiration, definitely. Actually, as I said, I was trying to steal the skills of my cousin, and he was drawing a lot of animes, and I was like, I need to do it better, you know. Uh, Turns out I didn't. He was so good at it. He was awesome. Uh, but
Does he still draw? Is he still doing
not
art?
at all. He's an engineer right now. Yeah,
You got to get him back into it, man. You got to get him.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy sometimes. Like he visited me 2 years ago, maybe, and he said like, "Oh, you have the job of my dreams," you know. And I was like, "Dude, you inspired me to be here," you know.
Is he like, I'm expecting my 10% cut soon? You know, like his little piece of the pie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think it was a mix of things. To be honest, for sure, I used to watch a lot of cartoons like Flintstones and Billy Mandy, SpongeBob. I really loved them. But I think the most impactful thing was video games for sure, 100%. I have a very funny story about it because I had a very old Nintendo 64, and I
I like
was,
hearing very old Nintendo 64. That
yeah,
shows your age. Am I? I think a very old is like Nintendo Atari. Not
because
kind of.
when I was there, the video game was old already. You know, like it was, I don't know, 7 years or 8 years old, something like that. And so I have this feeling I need to have this cartridge, Zelda. And so I remember to I don't know, I got like $50 as a gift board birthday gift, you know. And I went with my mom and we bought the cartridge. It was an old cartridge, and ends up the cartridge was with some problems. There
So it was
was,
used. It wasn't no pamphlet or just the cartridge, right?
yeah, just
Yeah.
the cartridge. Yeah, you got it. So it was a little bit old and there was no saving option. So I was playing Zelda from scratch every freaking day, over again, you know. So I was playing that a lot. So and even nowadays when I just played Zelda Ocarina of Time again like a few weeks ago, I played the entire game. And like the first phase of the game, when you until you get like a teenager, like 7 years past, I know everything about this part of the game, like every part of it, you know, because I played that over and over and over again, and this made me obsessed a
Yeah.
lot, you know. um so games, they are my thing.
Dude, it's
And
funny when you talk about that old cartridge for the Nintendo 64 Zelda. The original Nintendo Zelda didn't have a save feature unless you did like a hack that somehow
oh
someone found
wow,
a way to do it. So we
yeah.
would play Zelda as kids and just leave it on and turn the TV off. We'd pause it because you couldn't save it.
I was doing the same thing. Yeah, my parents, they got nuts with me a lot of times because of
That's
it. Yeah.
funny. And kind of we have a couple minutes left, and I got to do the exit bit, but I don't think we even talked about how all this came to be with you doing your talk at Noman, because I was talking with Alex Alvarez a couple months ago. We were just hanging out. I think it was in May, and he was like, "Yeah, I was playing Diablo 4, the at the time the new expansion, and I beat it, and I put a post on Instagram, and then one of the artists reached out to me on Instagram and was like, "Hey, I worked on it," and Alex like, "Hey, that's cool. You should come to a talk
Awesome.
about it." And
Yeah.
here you are. So
This was crazy to me, like because I was talking with Alex and I was like, dude, Norman was a big inspiration for me back in Brazil. Back then, it was impossible to do some courses there, but we used that as fuel to be better every day and be here today. It's definitely a dream come true, like 100%. You know.
that's cool. So it's another important thing going back to the network
Sure.
thing. Just
Yeah.
always
And
never
it's
you never know.
yeah. It,
You know? That's awesome, man. Well, any last thoughts, Gus, before I do the little outro thing, or
Oh, we're good to go. I think like I showed my journey just to show like everything is possible. Keep dreaming about it. I was in Brazil 3 years ago. I was grinding so much, and now I'm here at Blizzard. It still is a dream for me. So trust the process. Stick with your routine, your schedules about studies and stuff, and everything will happen. This is the message that I would give to myself from 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, you are a workhorse, man. You grinded that. There was no easy pass for you. Even watching your little thing on the strap, you just sculpted it and everything. You're a workhorse and you're an inspiration, man. It's cool. It's great seeing as a 43-year-old about the younger groups aren't hard work and they want, and not
Yeah.
there's other tricks now that do so much for you, and you're a hard worker, man. Like you said earlier, it just takes time to make good art, and yeah,
Takes time. There is no shortcut. There's no shortcut, definitely. Like sometimes you see some guys posting like lunch crunch, like a realistic face. I'm like, come on, man.
dude, I'm the same way. I don't. Well, dude, Gus, it was awesome having you, man. It was great getting to meet you through this whole thing too. So now I
Yeah.
have a new friend and awesome artist inspiration to look forward to.
Awesome.
And yeah, man, it was cool. So thank you for taking the time to be here with us and everyone here. Yeah, man. So thanks again, Gustavo, and thank you everyone else too here who joined us. In the chat. If you have any questions about Gnomon, if you want a tour of the campus or get started in a program, email admissions@gnomon.edu. Until next time, everyone, thank you so much. Goodbye. Have a great
Thank you. Thank you, folks. Thank you so much.